There are these countries we have to remind them all the time that they are Africans. Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, Egypt, and Somalia. You people, you need to know that you are inside the continent of Africa. Whether you like it or not, your identity has to be Africans. And if you feel uncomfortable being referred to as Africans, then carry your countries and take them to wherever you think your identity belongs. We cannot be working towards a one Africa, one voice, yet other people are working towards disintegrating themselves from Africa and being on their own. I don't know, working towards a one Arab community, which is doing nothing on the Palestinians. There was a time Morocco wanted to register for the European Cup of Nations, a competition which is for European countries only. That's the same disappointment we experienced during the FIFA World Cup 2022 when Morocco was the only Africa country in the quarterfinals. And the whole of Africa was behind Morocco, saying the first country which is about to reach the finals. Everybody was behind Morocco until the time they said that, one of their players said that, we dedicate our winning to the Arab people. And the rest of the people were like, so who are we to you? So people had to withdraw and they stopped it. Some started supporting Brazil, some Spain and the rest. Because if the people you are supporting don't want to identify themselves to you, then why should you keep on supporting them? The same thing with Somalia. They just want to prefer themselves to be called Arabs. If you people want to be Yemens, just push your country towards Yemen and join your borders and become Arabs without the name African Arabs. And Egypt, not being part of Africa, is being supported even by some Europeans because they cannot believe that the early civilization began in Africa. They can't accept the reality that the first university was in Africa. The first advanced agriculture and use of technology and tools, even if they were simple, it started in Africa. They just want to relight the history and make it look like they are the one who came with civilization, and they brought to Africans who were in forests. They were savages who were living in the forest like wild animals, and they enlightened them. That's why when they find incredible ancient structures like the pyramids of Giza, which dates back to a time where the whites had no knowledge of architecture that much, they try to say that it's the aliens who built those pyramids. But actually, it was the Africans who built them. Aliens have never been to this planet before. And that history of saying that the Europeans found Africans like savages in the forest is a lie. Africans had established chiefdoms, well-established kingdoms, trade routes, and religion. And most of this history and artifacts are being kept in the British museums. It's the Europeans who made the sense of history. They documented everything. Africans never cared that much about documenting their history. All those artifacts which are in British museums, if they were being left in Africa, I'm not so sure, but I think more than half of them will not be present up to this date. And now we have to believe the history which the Europeans wrote about us, because we have no history written by Africans. But whichever the case, that was not the topic of today. I was just talking about countries in Africa who don't think they are Africans. And I wanted to remind them that as long as you are a citizen of a country which is in Africa, it doesn't matter which race you are from, you become an African automatically. Whether you are an Indian, an Asian, an Arab, but you are a citizen of a country which is in the borders of Africa, you are an Africa. Stop bringing confusion. There are Caribbean countries which are more associated to Africans, like Dominican Republic, Haiti, Antigua, Guyana, Jamaica. Actually, Jamaica, it feels like a twin sister to Kenya. If you come to Kenya, the music which people are listening, you may think you are in Kingston, Jamaica. Even in my background, the way you can see right there, most of these artists you can see here, they are from Jamaica because we are the one blood, we are the one people, and distance doesn't matter. We are the same people. One Jah, Rastafari. Here in Africa, you will find paintings of Marcus Garvey in people's walls, in buses, matatus. The same way in Caribbean countries, you will find places named after African legends. You will find Nelson Mandela Highway, Mount Kenya Street, Mount Kilimanjaro Avenue, and such, because these people believe that we are one people, regardless of their location. So if you are living in the continent of Africa and you don't want to be associated or being called an African, then get the hell out of here and go to a place where you think your identity belongs to. Africa is for Africans. The same way even the blacks who are in America, they are called Black Americans. That's what they are being referred. They are not Africans. If they want to call themselves Africans, they can go to Africa. But as long as you're a citizen of America, you are a Black American. You are an Arab American. If you feel uncomfortable being called an Arab American, then get the hell out of there and go to a place where you will be called an Arab. Even here in Africa, these things are making us even start to believe the dark unrecorded history of Africa, which says that the whole of Africa continent had black Africans only. And the Arabs conquered many places and they stayed there. The Arabs castrated the male Africans to ensure that the future generation of that place was pure Arabs. That's why the ancient images and paintings of Egyptians of early times, they show that these people were black, maybe a mixture of blackish, but right now they are not there. It's almost kind of the continuation of what's happening right now in Sudan. Remember, you are being identified in reference to a place where you are, where your citizenship is. And if you don't feel comfortable being referred to that place, then get out of that place.